everyone! Welcome to the new semester, or the new session if you would like. This is going to be a really exciting several weeks together, very fast-paced, lots of knowledge that's just going to sort of be crammed into your minds, but lots of knowledge that we're also going to share with one another, lots of new ideas, new projects, and most importantly, a lot of self-reflection. This is going to happen through the projects, this is going to happen through the portfolios. Sometimes the assignments will ask you to reflect on your writing. Even when an assignment doesn't directly ask you to reflect, I want you to constantly be reflecting. Maybe keep a journal, whether it's on your portfolio or an actual physical journal if that's how you write best, that reflects on what you're learning, how you're changing as a writer, how you're changing as a thinker. All of that is incredibly important for the final portfolio, but it's also just incredibly important for life. So I really encourage you to do that consistently, as much as possible, however works best for you. If you want to send me emails of your reflection, I would love that, absolutely, and I'll respond back to you. So if that's a helpful way to start thinking about the WPAs and the habits of mind, then go ahead and email me your thoughts, and I will certainly respond to you with my ideas as well, because I am constantly reflecting on my own writing and how it impacts my life and the universe around me, and that's not just from a teacher's standpoint, that's just as a human. So do communicate with me, with each other, about your reflections. That's a really important part of this course. Tying into that, another really important part of this course is to communicate with me. So even if you feel like you don't want to bother me, or you feel like it's not an important thing to ask, just go ahead and do it. I'm going to love to hear from you. It's just the best way for us to get to know each other. So email me, post to the group blog, whatever feels right. So that being said, the group blog will have weekly, at least, maybe more, we'll see sort of how things go with us as a group, but at least once a week there will be a video like this, and a corresponding email that sort of supplements what you're learning, a reminder. Don't be dependent on it as a reminder. Keep track of the course calendar and the weekly modules, but there will be some sort of reminders about what we're thinking about this week and what we need to be working towards. So you can look at the group blog for that. But I also want to encourage you to use the group blog to post questions that you think maybe your peers can answer, or questions that you think maybe other people will have. So sort of common questions, nothing personal, but common questions that the whole group can benefit from, either me answering or other group members answering, or our writing fellow answering. So post those to the group blog. We'll all keep an eye on that. I think those are the main things. Just read instructions carefully. There are a lot of places where you will need to post more than once. A couple more things I wanted to mention, in addition to what you just watched. There are going to be multiple places where you need to post assignments occasionally. So things like peer reviews and rough drafts, you really need to pay attention, and team assignments, which we'll talk about in a bit. But for peer reviews and rough drafts, you must post them in both a discussion board and the appropriate assignment in that week's module. That's really important. It happens far too frequently that someone will post in the discussion board and not in the assignment, and then you get a 0 on the assignment. So make sure you're posting in multiple places when you need to. Again, that's really just the peer reviews and the rough drafts. So that's going to happen about 4 times 5 times because you'll do a peer review for the portfolio. So those 5 times you need to post in multiple places. Team activities, the leader of the team will post in the discussion board, and then you will respond in the discussion board. So you're not posting in multiple places, but it's really important that you respond because you want to show that you participated. Even though that will be recorded, you still want to be more active. It'll also record that you did post that way. Otherwise, just your leader is going to be recorded and not you. You'll still be graded, but this is an important part of team activities, is that you're also responding both to your own team and also to other teams. So try to do that. Try to remember. I will in turn try to remember to remind you to do that. Okay. A couple other things. When you email, make sure you include your name. You can refer to me as Dr. Kinsley or Dr. K. Dr. JK is also okay. If you think of another creative way to address me, you are free to do so. I want you to feel comfortable. That's the main thing. When you create documents, it's just good practice, and this is something I wish someone had told me when I was first starting in college, is that you want a system for naming your documents. So for some people, the most organized way of doing this is to do year, month, day, and then some sort of signifier like ENG 101 Project 1 or something like that, or Project Rough Draft 1. So maybe PRD 1 or something. But it's important to have the date. That way, even if you don't signify that it's a rough draft, you sort of see how your drafts are progressing. And it's also really important to save those drafts because, as I mentioned before, an important part of this course is reflection. And so by saving those drafts, it's just a quick way to reflect. It's also, if there's something that maybe you deleted in a future revision, you can still go back and retrieve it if it's something that you decide you do want to use later on. You want to revise and integrate into your project later on. So keep all drafts. So every time you start a new draft, a significant new draft, you want to copy and paste, open up a new document, start a new draft. Keep those old drafts. That's and again, you know, the point is that you label them appropriately and also label them for you, right? So date and name works for me and a lot of other people. Maybe something else will work for you. But when you upload it, that way it has some sort of signifier to me when I download and read it that this is how you're thinking about this draft. So if it says Doc 25, I don't know, it doesn't hold the same weight as naming your document in a significant and organized way. So not necessarily the title of the document, the title of the paper, but a name that signifies something to you. Maybe Doc 25 means something to you. I couldn't remember what the other 25 documents are personally, so I don't know. That's just something to think about. So yeah, just do develop a system. It'll come in handy when 5 years down the road you think, I wrote a really good English paper. Where was that? Right? So you already have it. Of course, the portfolio helps a lot to keep those things organized and you'll have it there forever. But it's just a good practice to start and I can't encourage you enough. So enough rambling about documents and emails and whatnot. Just, you know, stay strong. This is a fast-paced semester. I have lots of faith in you. Please email me, send me lots of drafts, not just the ones that are assigned. Just, you don't even have to have a whole paper. Send me a sentence, a paragraph, thesis statement, an idea. I love getting emails where you just sort of had a thought while you were on a walk. So do those things. Keep track of your reflections, your WPAs, and habits of mind. And let me know what I can do for you. Okay, so that's the addendum to the previous video, and have a good week.